Welcome back to Dominant Mets Nation Off-Season Central Series, Episode 16. And again, we are going to give you the latest Juan Soto update. What is going on in Juan Soto land? And you know what? We got to start off with the effect, let's call it the Steve Cohen effect. The Steve Cohen effect, because you already see it. You see it. You heard the big potential $660 million offer that supposedly Steve Cohen put it on the table. And there's speculation if he did, if he didn't. Is $660 million legit? Well, at the end of the day, we know Steve Cohen is willing to pay an ungodly amount of money for Juan Soto. And we know number two, he is 100% committed, going full bore, full blast after this man. That is what we know. Those are facts. The $660 million, maybe that has been unconfirmed, but we know other facts are. Okay, so what effect has that had on free agency? All right, so we know the Mets met with Juan Soto on Friday. They were the supposed third team to sit down with Juan Soto. Now, it's going to get a little confusing because supposedly there was a mystery team that sat down with Juan Soto last week. That is unconfirmable. So supposedly there were four teams that sat down with Juan Soto last week. This week, today, Monday, one team sat down with Juan Soto. That team was the New York Yankees. And the next team scheduled to sit down with Mr. Juan Soto is the Dodgers. All right, so we have 6 teams that are supposedly involved, maybe 7, depending if there's other mystery teams. Who the heck knows with that? But in this video, we're going to lay out some of the latest facts. What's going on with the Blue Jays? What's going on with this mystery team? What the heck? Yankees, how did that meeting go? Dodgers, what's the news with the Dodgers meeting? And at the end of the day, is Cohen's strategy going all to plan? All right, folks. Again, before we get into it, like our video if you find them entertaining. If you like what you see, if you're a new subscriber, smash that subscribe button. Join us. Everyone is always welcome. Thank you for your past comments and support on our last videos. We're having a lot of fun here, and I appreciate each and everyone's support. All right, so let's first talk about the Blue Jays. Now, before we talk about the Blue Jays, let me just mention this. I said by Steve Cohen kind of going from 0 to 60, going from the, from $660 million, essentially going to the end of the kind of spectrum, right? You start negotiations, maybe you start lower, other teams make a bid, then you get to about $660, $700 million. Well, Steve Cohen skipped the process. He did that, in my opinion, to speed things up, eliminate the competition. So what was the effect? Right off the bat, last week when Toronto met, you heard all the good things. The meeting went well. Juan Soto was impressed. All the good things. Now, essentially a day after Steve Cohen made that ungodly amount of offer, now you're hearing that, all right, according to Rosenthal, the Blue Jays aren't exactly in a position to land the services of Soto, considering the uncertainty of the roster. We know the Blue Jays have a lot of money, right? That's why they were in it. They pursued Shohei Ohtani, with everything they had last year. They really want to add that mega star. But on Soto's wish list, he wants to know how committed a team is to winning. How ready is the team winning? Blue Jays, they're not really set up right now. And to go on, Rosenthal stated that the uncertainty of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a big problem. No long-term contract there. No long-term contract. Basically, it's possible. It's still possible that he could potentially go to the Blue Jays. But if the Blue Jays were to put the best foot forward, it is very, would be very beneficial if they could say, hey, this guy's locked up. This is who you're playing with. but they can't. They can't. It's very possible Soto signs there, and next year the team is rebuilding. They're rebuilding around Soto, and that is not something it seems like Soto wants to deal with. The commitment to winning is questionable. Their roster is questionable. So the Blue Jays right now, even though they have the money, they do not check off the boxes. And of course, they seem to be eliminated very, very quickly, very, very quickly. And I think we are seeing the Steve Cohen effect, So right off the bat, we don't even need to spend a lot of time on the Blue Jays because they're gone. They're gone. Bye. Good luck. All right. So this is what I think is more interesting today. We hear news of a mystery team, and what is that all about? Like in the past, you always heard that if there was a big free agent, especially with Scott Boras, there might be a mystery team. There might be a mystery team. Now you hear there's a mystery team. What the heck? Isn't the bidding high enough? Isn't the bidding high enough? I mean, you already hearing the offers approaching $700 million. You need a mystery team in there? All right, so let's get into that mystery team. Mystery teams are always interesting. So the Juan Soto sweepstakes obviously has been the talk of the town. The top two teams in the running have long been assumed to be the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. The Mets and the Yankees already had their successful meeting with Juan Soto. Two American East teams, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, they had their successful meeting. But you know what? We are ruling out the Blue Jays for reasons. Okay, the LA Dodgers, they're emerging as a sleeper team. News broke earlier that they have a meeting set up with Juan Soto. We're going to touch on that shortly. But MLB's Mark Feinstein has revealed the presence of a good old mystery club in the Soto sweepstakes. And this team supposedly offered an amount of $650 million. Now, this is a quote. One source said Soto has spoken to at least one other team besides those that have been reported, thrusting the good old mystery club into the equation. Feinstein wrote, according to the sources, other teams that could meet with Soto include the Giants, the Phillies, the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa would appear to be a long shot, particularly now that the club will be playing home games at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, following the damage to Tropicana Field in the Hurricane Milton storm. Okay, the idea of a mystery team is fun to follow and fun to think of, but the Soto sweepstakes will likely take place between one of the top 5 teams that already met with him. Keep an eye out for who this mystery team ends up being. If they're willing to offer opt-outs or an insane amount of deferred money, this mystery team could shock a lot of people, including myself, in the Soto sweepstakes. So let's really break that down, unpack. Okay, so the mystery team is not one of the teams that Soto has sat down with and that has been public. So that's the Blue Jays, that's the Red Sox, that's the Mets, that's the Yankees, and that's the Dodgers. It's not one of those 5 teams. According to Feinstein, he has narrowed it down. The mystery team is either the Giants, the Phillies, or the Tampa Bay Rays. And supposedly, the contract that the mystery team has kind of thrown out there is in the $650 million range. And now let's kind of talk about the Soto effect. Usually the mystery team is used to jack up the price, but Steve Cohen did such an amazing thing and made such a strong offer that his $660 million offer is even higher than the so-called mystery team. But, what causes one would then kind of think, why wouldn't this meeting be public? If it was the Phillies, if it was the Giants, or if it was the Tampa Bay Rays, why would it be under the rug? I mean, all the other teams, were public. Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Blue Jays, we all heard about that. What's the benefit of keeping your interest in Juan Soto out of the news? And at the end of the day, there really is no benefit to the team. The only benefit this is to Juan Soto and Scott Boras. The potential of a looming mystery team. It only helps Scott Boras. It only helps Juan Soto. In my opinion, it is kind of BS. It's basically something for the teams really interested, the Mets, the Yankees, to have in the back of their mind. But already, if you are Steve Cohen, you already set the bar. You set the bar with your first offer higher than the mystery team. So in this special circumstance, the mystery team's really not doing it. You have Steve Cohen raising his hands. I want him. I'll pay him the most. And then you hear this new kind of like mic drop moment, and this is coming out many reports that have stated that any damn offer that any team makes to Juan Soto, Steve Cohen will beat that offer by $50 million. Do you know what that does to teams that want to make offers? Every offer a team decides to make, they're like, oh, I'm going to be used. Cohen's going to beat our offer by $50 million. I mean, it is just an insane mind trick that Steve Cohen is playing. This is a strategic masterclass. First move, offer, eliminate 99% of the competition. Then you throw something out like, even if you do make an offer, I'm going to beat it no matter what the offer is. I mean, you know what? That is, this is well played. And Scott Boras, you better be shaking hands, patting the back of Steve Cohen every which way, because this guy is making you and your client an ungodly amount of money. So Steve Cohen, Scott Boras, you should be the best of friends because you guys are working for each other. All right. Very, very interesting tactic. I think, in my opinion, the mystery team in this particular situation, when you have a guy like Steve Cohen in the mix, is BS. In a normal situation, the mystery team mentioned would be, oh my God, oh, you got to worry. But no, you got a guy like Steve Cohen. That is the man you got to focus about. That is the competition. Okay, so let's go over to the Yankees meeting. How did that go? How did the Yankees meeting go with their best player last year? Okay, so the Yankees meeting with Juan Soto. What came about this very high stakes meeting? And I'll tell you what has come from this meeting is really crickets. Honestly, no matter how much I look, no matter how much I research, there are no really significant details emerging at all. And what is that really telling us? Well, this is the latest. This is the most recent statements that I could find from Brian Cashman. And okay, so the Yankees, right? They supposedly will do everything to sign Soto. The Yankees traded for Soto in the before 2024 season. The goal was to win the World Series. They gave up a lot of talent. So general manager Brian Cashman said he will do everything in his power to re-sign Soto. So he goes, I had a conversation with Scott Boras yesterday, Cashman said. We certainly have an interest in retaining Soto, and we'll put our best foot forward there. But at the same time, that'll either lead us down the road of retaining him or and signing him back, or we'll be forced to go in a different direction if we can't. If we can't, there's a lot of different players in this marketplace that can positively impact this roster. So already, he is basically pivoting to plan B. If we can't sign him, this is what we're going to do. We are still going to have a good team. But that does not sound promising. The fact that no positive details have emerged from this meeting, no numbers, no comments, nothing in the positive direction of signing Juan Soto, kind of is really the writing on the wall, folks. The writing on the wall is maybe symbolically the Yankees are still in. But from how Steve Cohen has strategically dictated the whole Juan Soto sweepstakes by positioning his team going third or fourth, I said it's important not for the Mets to go first or second. They have to have a couple teams go in front of them just so they can learn how to make the best presentation to Juan Soto. So that was strategic. Then they made that ungodly amount of first offer, eliminating everybody, speeding up the process. That was strategic. Then they put it out there that they are going to bid $50 million over the best offer from any team. That was strategic. So much strategy for Juan Soto. Telling you, Steve Cohen will do anything to sign this man. Now, how does that affect teams like the Yankees? Now, the Yankees look like, yes, they're going through the process, but I'm telling you, folks, they are out. $660 million is out of the cards for them, folks. They were not intending to pay this man that much. And I'll tell you what, I will tell you what. Why, you're probably thinking like, why am I saying this? Why am I saying the big bad Yankees are out? Okay, folks, they're not set up to sign Juan Soto and make their team better and compete. They're losing Gleyber Torres. They're losing a couple players this year. Their current payroll, according to Fangraphs, that was the latest payroll projection that I looked at for 2025 is $240 million as we sit. Fangraphs has the Mets at $160 million right now as we sit. The Mets right now are coming off of a 2-game short of the World Series. The Yankees with Juan Soto lost the World Series, right? So they both went almost the same distance. The only problem is the Yankees would be losing Juan Soto, whereas the Mets would be adding Juan Soto, right? Okay. And I don't want to hear Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso was a liability, although he did have that big home run against the Brewers. So, but that's a different story. Okay, right? So let's continue to dive into this. So the Yankees have $240 million payroll without Juan Soto. It was said that the Yankees want to sign Juan Soto to a shorter-term contract with a higher AAV. Now the Mets, that 15-year, $660 million contract had them paying Juan Soto $46 million a year. So if their payroll was at $160 million, you sign Juan Soto, you're at 206. You are at 206. You still have $100 million to play with before you get to the Steve Cohen luxury tag. Great. You can build a team. You still have a lot of stars coming back. Lindor, Mark Vientos. You got young and promising guys coming up from the minors. Where are the Yankees sit? Yankees wanted to pay him a shorter-term contract, high AAV. So their contract would pay him over $50 million. So let's say they paid him between $50 and $55 million because they wanted a shorter contract. I think I heard 12 years. So that would put them close to $55 million. You add that to $240 million. Now they're sitting close to $300 million. And they lost Gleyber Torres. They still got to build up other parts of their team. And they are already at $300 million. And I can argue without Gleyber Torres, if you just add Juan Soto back, they are a worse offense. And they are already at the Steve Cohen payroll tag. This is how the New York Mets are set up payroll-wise, extremely different, and they are an extremely better situation. The Mets can still add they could still add a top flight starter. They could still add elite bullpen arms. They could still add another $25 million if you want to pay Bregman $27 million. Although the contract that I'm hearing Bregman and Boras want, they want a Manny Machado contract. They want 11 years over $300 million, but That's Scott Boras. That is Scott Boras for you. But this is the Yankee situation, and this is why I think that they are eliminated. So you have the Blue Jays, you have the Blue Jays eliminated, you have the Yankees eliminated. Scott Boras and Steve Cohen, both intelligent men. And this is why you hear the mystery team, because Scott Boras knows Steve Cohen could figure out the Yankees are not paying, and he could figure out that the Blue Jays are not in it. So that means it would just be the Mets. It would just be the Mets. So that's why you have to create more leverage. That's why the Dodgers are on the slate. That's why you hear mystery team. Because if all the teams are eliminated, there's no leverage. And Soto and Boras, to get the highest amount, they need leverage. They need leverage. Hence the Dodgers meeting. Now, are the Dodgers really considered strong? Are they really strong in the market for Juan Soto? Can they invest another $700 million contract? Even if you defer salary, is that feasible, really? Well, the Dodgers, they did say that they were interested in Juan Soto. Is Juan Soto even interested in playing on the West Coast? We're going to learn these details, but I think the significance of the Dodgers meeting is to create more leverage, to create more opportunity for Boras and for Juan Soto to land a higher contract. Right now, I think it's just right now, Steve Cohen sitting in the middle with no teams around him, smiling, saying, come on, come to Queens. That's what I envision right now. So you have the Dodgers meeting. That's going to happen in the next day or so. I don't think I'm not really sure the exact time, but it's going to happen very, very soon. We'll get you the details of the meeting when they come out. Hopefully, there'll be more details than what came out with the Yankees. But at the end of the day, the Dodgers and the mystery team is just to create more leverage to increase the contract value. And, I'm telling you, folks, if you're a Mets fan, I said this yesterday in our episode 15, you have to be sitting pretty if you're a Mets fan. And here's the deal. If they do not get Juan Soto, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Steve Cohen jacked this thing up so high, this price, this contract up so much that whatever team outbids or, wins this, I don't know how they're going to win it if Steve Cohen's going to outbid everybody, but, whatever, that's besides the point. The team that does acquire Soto is going to pay an arm and a leg. Steve Cohen can't afford it. We can afford to go over that Steve Cohen tax every year, but a lot of teams can't. A lot of teams can't. This will cripple teams. I believe this contract will cripple the Yankees in the next couple of years. And then going forward, they're always going to have a hamstring. They're always going to be hamstrung by Juan Soto. So I think the Yankees are out. I predict the Blue Jays are out. And again, the Dodgers and the mystery team, Phillies, the Giants, are just being used as extra leverage. Well, masterclass, give credit to Cohen. Comment below, like, subscribe, let me know. What do you think about Cohen's strategy? What do you think about the teams that are left still in the mix? Which teams are still actually in the mix? I'm eliminating the Yankees. I'm eliminating the Blue Jays. If he goes back to the Yankees, he would have to really fool all of us and take a major discount. I don't think he's going to do that. But maybe these contracts are at such a big stratosphere where he's like, oh, you know what? Mets at 700, Yankees at 650. It's just an ungodly amount of money. Maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I think it does. So that's just my quick take, my quick updates. Thank you, as always, for all the support, and I will speak to everyone very, very soon. Again, like and subscribe just so you can be staying tuned for the latest updates.